Yowzer, everybody. Welcome back. Pump Vincent here. Another video. It's been a while. I've been gone. I've been traveling the States so much. It was really beautiful. I was with my friends. We didn't make money. It was such a disaster. My whole season was a disaster, except for the beautiful moments, the views, the times I had with my dog and dogs. Yeah, I saw a lot of views, a lot of mountains. Like, this is Utah, somewhere in Utah, like southeast somewhere. I'm just following Google right now. And yeah, this is like okay, all right? Like Utah is the most beautiful place I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, period. Like, I don't think I've ever seen, and I've been around. I've been like a lot of places in Europe. I've been Africa. I mean, all over Central America, all over the States, Canada. I've been all around for 17 years. That's pretty much all I do is traveling. And Utah is just freaking insane, you know. So anyway, so I was in, well, you know, I started in Southern California, ended up in Oregon. I mean, and I did a bunch of stops. And then like I was in South Idaho. And then I went to Northern Idaho. And then we went back Southern Idaho, which is like 7 hours. And then we went back up north. And then we went to Utah for a bit. And it was gorgeous. Anyway, I said that. And then I went to Arizona, a couple places in Arizona, insanely beautiful. Like right that border, like just like south of Salt Lake City, southeast, all the way to Arizona. Just wow. If you ever want to travel somewhere, like, whoa. Anyway, so then we tried a bunch of mountains, bunch of different mushrooms, total failure. So many problems, really. And not just because it was a drought. They say it was the worst drought in 90 years. In the U.S., in the Western U.S. anyway. Just a disaster. But anyway, here I am. I'm heading back to Costa Rica now. I'm going to start driving. Yeah, I'm going to drive to Costa Rica again. I've done it so many times. But anyway, enough about my updates. I can go on and on because a lot of good things happen and crazy things. But most important is you guys. I'm here to give you advice. And this today is not about raw. It's about veganism, and it's really more about like unswelling the ego of the vegans, because if you think you're saving animals, well, you're wrong. You're not saving animals at all. If you think like, okay, most people eat like 100 to 300 animals a year, so if you go vegan, that means you're not eating those 100 to 300 animals a year and exploiting them and torturing them, you know. If you don't do that, well, good for you. But do I have a name or label for not killing people or molesting children or not beating my girlfriends or beating my dogs or not being a thief? Or is there a word for that? There ain't no word for that, because it's kind of normal not to do these things. So if you're a vegan, you got it. You don't want to kill animals for nothing. You know, you understood you don't need it. So now what? Okay, stop killing them. And now if you want to save animals, there's a lot of good ways. I found these two organizations, one in Nicaragua and one in Costa Rica, that will clean up the ocean. They clean up the beach. And they hire locals, which is also humanitarian. They hire like a lot of people, big rotation, like once a week, just so that they can eat mostly. Yeah, really cool organization. And think about this: if you want to save animals, I think I found the best way, the best way that I've thought about for the least amount of money, because you can be the warrior, you can go out there and like be the activist and clean the oceans and you know, like convince people to stop eating meat or whatever. That's pretty cool, but there's another way. There's many other ways that are way better than all of this. My favorite one, which is something I've been like pondering in my head for so long, like what is the best way to help animals? Sorry for the wind. Listen to this. With $10,000, okay, it's a lot of money, but you don't have to put 10,000. But with 10,000, that's how much they did. They cleaned 80,000 kilos of plastic. All right, it's like 160 pounds, 170 pounds or something, 170,000 pounds of plastic, which was going to be ingested by animals for like 200, 400 years. That little like cap of like toothpaste that floats around or whatever is going to be eaten by a bird or an animal, whatever. and then it's gonna die, and it will decompose, and the plastic will continue to live for 200 years, killing and killing and killing and killing. So the best one, the best one, because that's not even it, it's not just cleaning plastic, it's cleaning fishnets. They can go through like a mile. They go forever, these nets. Very long nets. How many animals dies per day in those abandoned nets? They say up to 200 a day. 200 animals a day. I'm talking turtles, whales, fish, all kinds of fish, dolphins, birds even. All kinds of animals die in those nets. 200 a day. So how long will it take for those nets to decompose? If it's like hard plastic, easily 400 years. Let's say 200. 200 years. 200 animals a day times 365 times 200 years. That's like 7.6 million. You think I'm crazy? Then lower the numbers. Make it like a million. It's insane. Just one fish net, you remove it, boom. These animals will not die from the worst possible death imaginable. Yeah, I did say the worst possible death for a wild animal anyway. They will die. Well, even like slave animals, like they get shot. I mean, they might have the infections. You know, they might die of an infection. That's really bad. That's really nasty. They will, you know, they never have kids, their families, they never had friends, they never had freedom. That is pretty nasty. But dying from starvation, that is one of the worst possible death ever. And not only starvation, but stuck somewhere. Like you're stuck. You're in a fish net or trapped anywhere, and you slowly die. You stress and stress. You have bugs coming on you. You have like, you're just really scared. And then you die after so long. Like I had this sloth in Costa Rica, you know, those beautiful sloth. It got stuck in the fence in Pura Fruta in our community. And I wasn't there to see it, but Minda got it out, but it was dead. And just because it got stuck in the barbed wire of the fence, one of those stupid fence that we're trying to get rid of, he just got stuck there in his hair, like, and the sloth, you know, he's not so like flexible. So he had bugs crawling over him, the rain, the ground, the stress of other predators, the fear, like constant fear, you know, hopelessness, not being able to get out. Took him days, possibly 2 weeks before he died. That's a horrible death. So these animals that are in those fish nets, about 200 a day, and we can get them out. We just get one fish net out and you save millions of animals. How beautiful is that? And that's not 10,000. Okay, that's much less. Contact those organizations or just do it yourself. Go to like some whatever country, get a boat and go get a fish net. You know, or just hire those fishermen. Tell them you'll pay them to harvest those fish nets. There's so many ways. So anyway, don't think you're helping animals if you're vegan. You're not. You're really not. You're only vegan. You're only helping animals if you speak up for the animals. You know, and that usually makes you lose your friends, your family. No, hard to date. That's why a lot of people don't want to do it. But you know, if you understood the suffering of the animals and you really want to help, you're gonna open that beautiful mouth of yours, and you're gonna, you know, have people hate you. You know, it's a hit and miss, but it's worth it. And make money. That's the way. Like, just stop activism on the streets and make more money. Literally, make way more money and give it to these warriors that are out there that are just begging for donations so they can go and save, like, I don't know, like those bears that are being, you know, drained with their from their bile, like in China, the meat trade, the dog meat trade, these donkeys in Greece. There's so many ways to help. Billboards on the highway. Gary Yourofsky's ad with the singer of or the guitarist of Pink Floyd, I think, or Led Zeppelin, I forgot. He puts his ad. He says, "Hey guys, go ahead and watch this best speech ever on YouTube. It'll change your life." That's it. 10 grand for 1 month. I asked Gary. 10 grand for 1 month. That's very powerful speech. There's so many ways to help. So anyway, I hope that message got to you, and I hope that activist in you will just fire up, because we really need your help. We are like the first world people, unless you're not. But if you're from the first world country, you have the privilege to access a lot of money, and we're kind of the only ones who's going to save the planet with money. All right, like people don't have time for the 80% of the world makes like $3 a day. They don't have time to deal with this. They don't have time to eat. They can't eat. They don't have shoes. They barely have clothes or a roof. Literally $3 a day. That's the reality. Some people make a little bit more, like $20 a day, but those are rare. But most of the world makes $3 a day. So it's up to you to do something. It's like somebody's drowning in a pool, all right? And you're the only one who can hear it. All right? It's your responsibility to do something. It's not anybody else's responsibility. You're aware of their sufferings. The others are not. There's very little people aware of what needs to be done. And you have access to money. You probably think you don't, but you know, you're in a first world country. And if you are, even if you're not, there are ways to make a lot of money. So anyway, I hope my message got to you, and that you go out there and save animals. So, all right, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.